Let me take you with me for a day in the garden.
Wow, it's wild in here.
Counting the days until it's ready to thrive. Hi, welcome back to the channel, and if you are new here, my name is Veronica and I'm currently renovating my 500 square meter allotment garden in the city center of Warsaw. And today I will bring you along for a day in a garden. I have a couple of jobs that will take me around the garden, so I thought it's a good opportunity to give you a little midsummer update of what's happening here. I also have one big job that I need to take care of, which is finally trimming this gigantic wisteria plant that has completely taken over the roof of my garden house. There's a lot of work, so let's get going. And if it's loud in the background, my apologies. It's weekend and all of the neighbors are in their gardens. It's pretty loud in here today. Let's start from the most difficult job, which is trimming this gigantic wisteria plant. As you can see, it has completely taken over my garden house. Right now, its branches are growing on top of the roof, which is causing a lot of issues. First of all, wisteria grows extremely fast. And right now its branches have gotten into gutters and underneath other structural parts of the roof. So it's basically just destroying my roof. Secondly, all of the branches that are laying down on the roof are just gathering debris like old leaves or needles. So basically all of this debris is now there, decomposing and gathering moisture. And I'm afraid at some point it will cause leaks in the roof or just water damage to the house. The wisteria plant is now covering basically half of the roof and started even climbing up that tree. It's just insane how fast and vigorous it is growing.
Wow, it's wild in here.
Everything that goes to the roof needs to go. Number one.
Oh my god! What is this made of? So this is the tallest ladder I have. Not the most stable, I must say, but I don't have anything better. So let's give it a try. Shit. All right, all right. Okay guys, I don't think there's a way I'm climbing up there. Like, everybody needs to have their own limits, and I think this is my limit. Yeah, I think this isn't great. Oh my god, if I could turn back time, I would definitely trim this finger regularly. If I could turn back. Time. It's the next day, and yesterday I ran out of memory, then my battery died. It was a complete system malfunction. So I finished the job off camera, or I semi-finished it. Let me show you what I've done. As you can see, the wisteria plant is still very much on the roof, and it's holding on for its dear life. I was struggling so much yesterday trying to remove it, but it won't budge. Unfortunately, the only way to remove it will be to actually climb on top of the roof, but I really don't want to do it when I'm in the garden alone. I want to have somebody around. What I have done yesterday, however, is I cut off those branches from the life source, which is the root of the plant. As you can see, it already started wilting a little bit. So my hope is that it's just going to dry out and it's going to be much easier to remove them. As you can see, I've cut all of the branches that were basically leading on top of the roof. This is already wilting and dying slowly. This is still alive. Same with all of the branches that were leading up the tree. I've cut them, and hopefully all of the wisteria growth that climbed on top of the tree will just very soon die. Now that the wisteria problem is taken care of, let's take a look at the rest of the garden and see what's happening in it. Starting off from our flower beds next to the entrance, they look absolutely beautiful. They are in full bloom. We have 2 hydrangea plants here that I actually planted 2 years ago from very tiny seedlings. And now after 2 years, they're pretty sizable bushes, absolutely covered with flowers. So I'm really happy to see that. We also have some rudbeckias that just started flowering, and they will continue to flower for another month or 2 until they're killed by the frost. We also have a couple of seedlings of sedum here that has taken off beautifully. Sedum really does not mind dry conditions, so it does great in gardens like mine where it's not being watered very much. In this bed we also have verbena plants that I'm growing for the first time, and I didn't know exactly what to expect. And they grew extremely tall. At this point they are taller than me. But they look beautiful. They are covered with this romantic purple flowers that also attract so many pollinators. I will definitely grow it probably even more in the future, but maybe in another location because this tall plant looks a little bit awkward in this bed. We also have here those 2 beds of annual flowers. We have this one bed full of cosmos, and it looks great. I love cosmos. It looks super romantic, and I love how it's like moving on the wind. I think it's a really beautiful flower, giving like a strong cottage vibes. We also have this other bed full of zinnias and gladioli, and gladioli are actually kind of behind its prime already. And we will be saying goodbye to them soon probably. And the zinnias, they grew and they are flowering, but they're definitely not their best. You can clearly say that they were not watered enough, but I'm still super happy that they're blooming and providing some colors to the garden and also some food for the pollinators. Oh, and I forgot a very important update. The tree, this year it looks very much dead. It's now gone. I came to a conclusion that it probably won't miraculously come back to life, and I had somebody cut it down, which is sad because I would love to have actually more big trees in here, but it had to be done. In the back corner of the garden, there's few things happening. First of all, grapes. There's so many grapes on those vines. They're always very productive, but this year especially, there's just so many. They're not ready yet, but they should start ripening pretty soon. We also have one big success, because a plum tree that I have replanted to that spot from another spot in the garden when it was already like big established plant is actually still alive. This year it has its first fruit, a gigantic plum that I'm just like counting the days until it's ready to try. Let's hope that in the years to come it will continue growing and it will end up being a productive fruit tree. On the side of the garden we have this raspberry patch that is so productive right now. And I think raspberries in general are just doing really good in this garden. I don't do much to take care of them. Once a year I cut them in the autumn close to the ground and they come back every spring. Unfortunately, I can't say the same about my blueberry plants, because those, as soon as I moved out of Warsaw and stopped watering them regularly, they do absolutely nothing for me. My harvest this year was pathetic. It was a handful of berries. I am considering getting rid of some of the bushes and replacing them with something either prettier or just more productive. The pile of branches that you can see right here comes from this big tree growing next to the house. Those are the branches they were laying down on the roof. I need to chop them into smaller pieces and organize them. Let's do it together. And this tree, I think in English it is called taxus. It's super like elastic wood, so it's not very easy to cut actually. Even the thin branches, you really have to put like a lot of force into cutting it. This is done. Do you remember the flower bed that we were trying to establish in here? There's exactly one survivor. But right next to it, we have this area that's just looking super lush and green. We have lemon verbena in here, then some sage, and I think this here, it's called strawberry mint. So I think that coming up next spring, I'm going to plant some sage and maybe some mint in this spot as well and see if it grows more willingly. The jungle definitely lives up to its name this year. It's extremely messy, and you know that I am not a fan of working in this part of the garden. It's not all bad, there's definitely some pretty flowers here, but it's just very, very messy at the moment. So let's clean it up just a little bit. First, I'm thinking we need to get rid of that chunk of concrete. Okay, it's not even so heavy. I thought it's gonna be much worse. Far from perfect, but come on, the difference is huge. I think it looks so much better. I wouldn't say I did a thorough weeding of this area, but I did remove the biggest weeds. And in the autumn, I need to put some new plants in there, but they have to be extremely drought resistant because this spot is like a desert. And also they need to tolerate full sun because this area gets sun all day long. If you have any plants to recommend that would thrive in these conditions, but they also have to be frost tolerant because we do have cold winters in Poland, please let me know in the comments. I will appreciate any suggestions. And just because I'm feeling extremely generous today for the jungle, I might even water this spot, although it will probably cause all of the weeds that I have just removed to start growing rapidly, but that's fine. I hope you guys like this little summer update from the garden. The sun is now setting, and I think that for all of this work, I deserved an ice cream on my way home. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and consider subscribing to the channel to follow my renovation journey. Thank you so much for watching today, and see you next time.